Hey folks, Troubletcat here, recording for the Zombie Arcade, playing some BF3 for the first time in a while that I've actually made a video of BF3. As you guys know, I got a little bit tired of the game there. I think it's, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you know, I do think it's a good game, but it's worn on me a little bit after 600 hours. Not exactly mad about my playtime, and now I'm just sort of starting to think about looking forward, well, trying to be cautiously optimistic about Battlefield 4. So there are a lot of big things, a lot of big features that I've talked about before that other people have talked about a lot that they'd love to see in Battlefield 4, and some of them I think that are blatantly needed, like fixing the honky-ass netcode we have in this game, which is, some people maintain it's not broken, but they're just fucking wrong. Other things include, you know, they need to add a spectator mode if they want the game to be embraced by esports, which they said they did with BF3, but then no spectator mode. And I think most people would really like to see them unfuck their art direction. I consider the art direction to be bugged in BF3, actually. I mean, clearly, I mean, maybe they thought they were making an underwater game. This one map is actually fine, but the rest of it, I'm just not feeling the nautical theme they've got on the desert maps. I don't know, it doesn't seem right to me. But I'm going to leave those things aside for the most part in this video. And in this video, I want to talk about specifically the balance issues with the game, or basically more mechanically oriented things that I would really like to see change for Battlefield 4 for two reasons. One, to make the game more interesting and competitive and skill focused, and two, to make the game more fun in pubs, because right now, it's okay, but it could be a hell of a lot more. So, without further ado, let's get into those. The first thing I'm going to talk about is changes to health and damage modeling, and this is largely from a perspective of making the game more skill-based in gunfights, but I think these changes will make the game a lot more interesting and a lot more fun for, you know, even people who aren't interested in competitive play. So, my main ideas were increase base health to 125% of the current health, remove health regen, increase the headshot multiplier, and decrease the damage loss at range of guns. So basically, the changes to player health and the reducing the loss of damage should mean that instead of being a 4-hit kill up close and a 6-hit kill at range, guns that end up being a 5-hit kill up close and still a 6-shot kill at long range. I think at long range it's actually fine, the time to kill in BF3, but up close, right, in BF3, you just kind of spray wildly and kill people instantly before they can react. It's partly an effect of the bad netcode. Also, I mean, people saying it takes too long to kill, that is certainly an effect of the bad netcode, though I can tell you that much. It takes too long for your hits to register right now, which is why it feels like it takes people much longer to die than it really does. 4 bullets to kill is over almost instantaneously. So basically the idea there is to make spraying less effective at close range. You don't just spray and instantly kill somebody before they can react. It'll still be over very fast at close range, but people will have more of a chance. And sort of keeping guns having their power at range will stop range from getting too much like paintball. The increased headshot damage multiplier is basically just about rewarding players who can aim well and get headshots consistently with headshots that are actually decisive in a gunfight. And removing health regen is just because I fucking hate health regen. I think it's the scourge of the earth. But more importantly, in a Battlefield game that's ostensibly meant to be about teamwork, and there are medkits and stuff, there's no need to have it in the game, particularly if it took a little bit longer for people to die. I don't think health regen really belongs. That's my opinion. So that pretty much covers that. The second thing is remove or nerf suppression. I don't think this is going to be a controversial thing. I think most people think suppression's kind of dumb, and I basically just agree with that. It's stupid to take away somebody's ability to effectively return fire after 2 or 3 shots land near them. It makes gunfights almost entirely about who shot first, as opposed to about who actually has better aim or better position or anything like that, because once somebody shoots even near you, not necessarily even hitting you, you can't shoot back for a few seconds, at least not accurately. That's kind of fucked up. So I'd say they should either completely get rid of suppression, or if they want to keep it in the game, make it either one of two things. Only a visual effect, so your screen gets blurry but your gun is still completely accurate. I wouldn't mind that. Or they could keep suppression as it is, but they'd have to change it so that only LMGs could give the effect, and I think that wouldn't be too bad. But right now, it's just fucking Blurfield 3 over here, guys. I mean, I can't even My hand's sick! What's going on? Point 3 would be to rebalance the kits. Right now we're in a situation where Assault is by far, in most situations, unless it's a very vehicle-heavy map, Assault is the most useful kit because you can revive and heal. You even have the option of grenade launchers, and you have the highest score per minute because you get shitloads of score from those aforementioned revives and heals. Support and Engineer are both moderately useful classes, although somewhat more situational than Assault, and they get sort of moderate score per minute. And Recon is a fantastic class if helping your team and not being a massive fucking coward causes you physical pain. So that's sort of how the kits stand right now. What I'd like to see done to make the kits a bit more balanced in terms of power and in terms of the amount of score you get is this. The Assault kit needs to be split into 2 kits. A Medic kit with weaker guns than the Assault rifles and the medical gadgets, and an Assault kit with the strong Assault rifle weapons and grenade launchers. And that should make both those 2 kits hopefully about as useful and scoring about as well as Engineer and Support currently do, because the guys with the high score, really useful medical gadgets will have weaker weapons, and the guys with the grenade launchers that aren't really that useful aside from murdering people will have stronger guns to compensate. So that should sort of work that out. We don't really need to touch Engineer and Support too much, I think. I'm actually okay with where those kits are at. And as for making Recon something that's not just for massive cowards, people who hate helping their team, and again, get very bad score most of the time, Recon just needs some stronger gadgets for attacking. Like, Recon is ostensibly a Slayer class right now, with their weapons and stuff, but right now the gadgets really suck. They need to be given C4, something like that, some kind of offensive explosive they can use to maybe help out a little bit against vehicles in the right situation. And I'd say that the tugs, the motion sensor needs to be given a longer range or made a throwable or something to make the tugs a little bit more useful, so that the classes are a little bit more balanced, and so that maybe those poor men with Recon syndrome can find some help for their critical brain problems. So point 4 is to fix low rate of fire guns. Battlefield 3 has a great variety of weapons, a shitload of guns in fact, and that's pretty cool. Everybody likes choice. Unfortunately, if you don't use the M16, the M416, or the AEK on the Assault class, and there's a similar thing for each kit, you're just wrong. There's about 3 guns for each class that are viable, which is kind of sad when there's 87 guns in the game. Really sad, in fact. And yes, I know a lot of people out there do like AKs, their L85, stuff like that. They do enjoy their low rate of fire guns, and you can be competitive with those weapons if you're very good with them. But the same player using a high rate of fire weapon will almost always do better. The reason for this is that the high rate of fire weapons are as strong as the low rate of fire weapons, with 1 or 2 exceptions where the low rate of fire gun does a little bit more damage, but it doesn't really fix anything. So they're as strong, and they're not so much less accurate or so much harder to control that it's actually that hard to hit people. So who's going to win in the gunfight is going to be determined by who can put the most damage on target first, and basically, right now, at any range, a player who's at least moderately competent will put on more damage more quickly with a high rate of fire gun than a low rate of fire gun. It doesn't even matter, because it fires so much faster that even though it's a little bit harder to land those hits at long range thanks to the extra recoil, you will still hit them more with your 900 rounds per minute than they will hit you with their easily controlled 650. To fix this, low rate of fire guns need to be buffed. They either need to do significantly more damage than high rate of fire guns, so you can equal the time to kill on a high rate of fire weapon at all ranges, or my preference would be make the low rate of fire guns much, much more accurate than high rate of fire guns, so that in close range situations you always lose to a high ROF gun with a low ROF gun, and in long range situations the guy with the low rate of fire weapon has an advantage, particularly with that increased headshot multiplier, because he's hitting a much, much higher percentage of his shots. Right now, you only hit maybe a tiny bit higher percentage of your shots with a low rate of fire gun, and the high rate of fire gun sprays everywhere and your life ends. And that's why the M16, the AEK, and the M416 are so powerful right now, is because they kill so fast, and they have accuracy that is, and controllability that's almost equal to any low rate of fire gun. That needs to be fixed so that more guns are actually viable. I think people would like that. I know I like viability in my guns instead of a bunch of guns that fucking serve no purpose and are just completely useless in the game. Generally speaking, the vehicle balance in BF3 is not broken. But there is one thing that's broken, and that's jets. Now, some people will tell you that the jet balance is fine and everybody else is a bad whiner, and you'll always notice that those are also the guys who have about 200 hours and 30,000 million fucking kills in jets. They just don't want it nerfed because they like going 150 for 3. But for the rest of us, it's a little bit fucked up. What should be the case in terms of vehicle balance is a rock, paper, scissors dynamic, where a class of vehicle beats a different class of vehicle, and so on and so forth. However, right now, the only thing that really reliably beats a jet is a better jet pilot, and that's not good in a game that's based around combined arms and team play, which is what BF3 is about. So my solution to this is not to nerf jets. I think jets are strong, and they should be strong. It's to make a vehicle class that's not that strong right now, mobile anti-air, strong enough to reliably counter jets. There's no reliable counter to them. You can try and take them out with stingers or like a better jet pilot or the mobile AA. You can try, but it's really not that good for it. MAA just stronger against jets. I explain this in more detail, particularly in a battle log thread, which I'll link in the description of this video. Go check that out if you want more details on these points on why they think are a good idea, especially this last one, because I talked a lot about the sort of different vehicle dynamics and stuff in the game, but it's a little bit heavy to get into in this video. We're trying to keep this light and brief, like all my videos. I certainly never release long videos where I ramble on about nothing for too long. That's certainly not my style. No, anyway, those are the main points that I would love to see from just a mechanical perspective changed in BF3 to make the game more fun, a little bit more competitively viable. Aside from, again, the elephants in the room, spectator mode, VoIP, fixing the bugged art direction, and fixing the bugged netcode. So, as always, guys, let me know what you thought of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know what you think of the points I raised in this video, either in the video comments or over on Battlelog in the forum thread, where maybe I'll get a bit more attention. So, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, Troubletcat out.